The scrappy beginnings that forged Sentry's relentless founder. Kramer dropped out of school his freshman year, feeling he didn't fit into the classroom structure and wasn't getting much out of it. I was the rebellious kid, he says. I didn't like school. My parents were pretty loose, so they let me do it. I went to work at Burger King for a couple of years, got promoted to manager. I fired my cousin. When he wasn't cleaning out of the deep fryer or terminating the employment of blood relatives, Kramer was indulging his obsession with burgeoning computer technology. From a young age, he'd been fascinated by the internet, but didn't have a computer at home. I have vivid memories of going to school on hour only just to surf the internet, or going over to my friend's house all the time to use the computer. These were the early days of being online, GeoCities, hamster dance, the wild west of creation. Kramer was captivated by the limitless possibility. That led me into games, data mining games, building databases out of them, basic programming. A lot of my old career was just me hacking stuff together, he says. I'd take World of Warcraft game files, reverse engineer them to pull out all the items in the game, and build a database out of those so people could search them on the internet. Kramer credits the open source community as a catalyst for almost everything that followed. He was publishing his work freely, building tools for others to use, and collaborating in public. Access is a big deal when you come from the middle of nowhere. Sentry was born out of these opportunities, but even outside of Sentry, every job I've gotten was because they used my code already. The first door to open was a full-time job as a programmer. He went from managing the Burger King in Nebraska to working for a startup called Curse in Germany, which was big in the World of Warcraft scene, making game contents and virtual currency. Startups are a more accessible version of technology companies, he says. I was a high school dropout. Nobody was going to recruit me from an Ivy League school. And so I was always worked in these smaller companies and grew and developed my skill with them. While still working for Kurz, Kramer relocated from Germany to San Francisco for a year before eventually leaving that role and returning to the Midwest to plot his next move. As much as he felt at home in Nebraska, surrounded by family and friends, he soon realized his hometown couldn't compete with the gravitational pull of Silicon Valley. I recognized the personal value to me of being surrounded by peers, he says, and no matter what anybody says, there's no other place like San Francisco that has that.